The Bud Light BCS pregame show is brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun.
Fans enjoying themselves here at the Taco Bell Fan Fest, trying to fill the brand new Taco Bell 12-pack and doubtless asking themselves, what happens if you scan Mark May? Here inside, Discover Orange Bowl, you see the fans still waiting to go inside and get fired up to see the Mountaineers and the Tigers square off tonight. And of course, we're getting closer and closer to the Tide and Tigers, the national championship game. Chris Fowler's in New Orleans.
Reese, thank you. Two old quarterbacks here excited for this game. I thought I'd put on the gloves, hoping they would throw the ball my direction, but they're looking elsewhere at other targets. We've seen some brilliant quarterback play in these BCS games. We've also seen Smith and Boyd be very productive at times, but also make some mistakes. They combined for 17 picks in the losses for each team. Not great in the red zone, so who can avoid the mistakes tonight and make the big plays?
First of all, the mistakes has a lot to do with both of them trying to figure out a new offense this year and trying to get comfortable within that structure and what they're trying to do, and the players around them also getting more and more comfortable. You look at Geno Smith, and if you've not seen him play, you're really going to enjoy watching this guy's arm strength, his ability to spread the football around. Dana Holgorsen has an offense that will stretch the Clemson defense from one sideline to the other. They're going to try to create vertical seams up the field. Tavon Austin is a guy to keep an eye on because he's kind of the jitterbug, the guy that can get into space and keep you honest and set up those vertical seams downfield. Geno Smith has the arm strength, and he's going to get the ball out of his hands quickly because Andre Branch and that Clemson defense are going to come after him.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Taj Boyd plays in an offense, Chad Morris's offense, that stretches a defense as well. And I saw Taj Boyd a lot this year. And when he has been very good, he's been patient, he's allowed the flow of the game to come to him, and he's done his job, which is distribute the football because he's got a lot of playmakers around him. When he struggled this year and towards the end of the season, he was pressing too much, trying to make every play, trying to make every throw. If he settles down, plays like he did early and like he did in the ACC championship, he's got a lot of weapons. I think Clemson's got a great offense.
If it's a shootout, what about the contribution of special teams? Guys in Miami have been talking about Watkins and Austin. They're involved in the return game. Suspect coverage teams for Clemson covering punts and with the Mountaineers covering punts and kickoffs.
Well, especially considering the layoff. And you wonder if the layoff is always a concern for special teams, especially for two units that have struggled to cover. And now you got to deal with two of the premier return men in all of college football. Tavon Austin, saying earlier to these guys, kind of a poor man's Percy Harvin as far as his skill set. And Sammy Watkins, enough's enough on what he can do. So I think that is something, and it could affect the momentum and the field position, obviously, in this game, too.
You guys want to pick this game?
Sure,
he's used to being put on the spot. This is kind of a new role for you, but from a few thousand miles away, who do you like in the Orange Bowl?
Yeah, I like Clemson. I like Clemson because we talked about Taj Boyd, we talked about the offensive weapons, but I think Kevin Steele's defense will be the difference in this game. They've got some big-time players on the defensive front, and Andre Branch, defensive end, Brandon Thompson, a defensive tackle. I think their defense is the difference for Clemson.
And not to mention the way they finished the year. Yeah. I mean, they played in the game against Virginia Tech. They dominated the line of scrimmage, so you know they're coming in with a great deal of confidence as they try to attack the West Virginia offense. Look at Clemson, and I think they win this game too. Andre Ellington, to me, is the entire key to Chad Morris's offense. He's healthy. We saw what he could do against Virginia Tech. When they established the running game, it seems to open up every other aspect of this offense, and that's where Taj Boyd really gets in the rhythm. Dwayne Allen will end up being the go-to guy, I think, make some big plays in a pass game. This will be the first BCS Bowl game where it's a significant margin. I think Clemson beats West Virginia and destroys them.
You got them big. So does Jesse Palmer, Desmond Howard, Todd McShay. 73% of America's vote. Nobody's picking the Mountaineers. I'll be a contrarian.
I forgot. That's your
triple, quadruple, quintuple, not so fast. Whatever it is, when everybody picks Clemson and nobody picks West Virginia.
You and the gloves have the Mountaineers. All right.
I don't know if I can be Sammy Watkins and get 60% of the yardage after the catch. Reliable. Meanwhile, back to football here in New Orleans. Nick Saban's charter flights from Tuscaloosa slightly delayed, but the Tide are ensconced in their hotels on the edge of the French Quarter.
It's a big plane for a short ride.
It is. 3 of them. Meanwhile, a bus ride 82 miles from LSU. More after the game from here in New Orleans. Kickoff coming up from Miami shortly.
The Bud Light BCS pregame show is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Welcome back to the Bud Light BCS pregame show.
When Sammy Watkins is on top of his game, there is no doubt he has what it takes within to help lead the Tigers to victory. Chad Morris got the offensive coordinator's job his first year at Clemson. Dabo Swinney told him, your #1 priority. Do not lose the commitment of Sammy Watkins, who's a freshman. He did not, and boy, has it really paid off for the Tigers tonight. We are closing in on kickoff, West Virginia and Clemson. You've dissected it, you've looked at it, you've thought about it, you've done the West Virginia tie. Who wins the game tonight?
I think Clemson's a better football team, but I think West Virginia wins the game, and here's why. Because they're used to playing in close games. Their last 3 ball games have been determined by a total of 7 points. They won by 3 point, 1 point, 3 point. On the other hand, Clemson in 13 games only had 1 game closer than 7 points.
Well, I'm picking Clemson in this game because I don't think it's going to be that close. I think when you look at this football game, you hope for both offenses to score a lot of points. But when you look at the firepower that the offense that Clemson has, Andre Ellington at the running back position, Taj Boyd at the quarterback position, Dwayne Allen, the best tight end that Clemson's had in the history of football. And now you've got to talk about Sammy Watkins on the outside. I don't think West Virginia can keep up scoring for 4 consecutive quarters with Clemson.
If Clemson's too inconsistent, that's what we'll see.
Clemson and West Virginia getting set. There's always great pageantry surrounding the Orange Bowl. Let's now joining for the national anthem.